Greetings everyone. Before we continue, I would like to take this moment and apologize. Siyaxolisa kakhulu for ukuqala late. Khona nje izinto ezincane bese sasisota, but we are starting now. So I would like to officially welcome everyone. Namkelekile nikhulule ibhakizeni. At least ezininzi indawo apha zokuxhoma. If yabona bamazotsho iweave le iyakutshisa kakhulu, ungayikhulula uyibeka apha ecaleni so that ungazophoswa le nto izabe senzeka apha, ne? So definitely ndithembisa into yodwa before I hand over the mic ukuba nizo-engage ne-panelists ezizethu, nizawuthetha xa bebuza imibuzo, and then also nani nizawubuza imibuzo. Do you promise? Okay, so you talk about it, Collective Volume 2 le. Sizobe sithetha about a topic that is interesting at when I thought I healed, ne? So ndifuna nje ukuvula ingqondo ukuba kuzabe kuthethwa ngantoni apha, because sometimes it happens that izinto ogqithe kuzo, mhlawumbe experiences that you encountered apha ebomini bakho, because life is a journey, ne? So zikhona izinto ezenzekayo ucinge wena ubuxolile okanye waxola. So xa kuthi qinje into encinci ifike itriggerishe ube ngilaa mntu nomsindo nengcwangu ungayazi noba yokwenzeka intoni, kanti ucinga wena uba wawuxolile kulaa nto yenzekayo but zange uxole, uyabo. So apha ebomini kwamahlambe enyuka, ne? Kukho iintaba ngeentaba. So xa ugqithe kwintaba yokuqala ayithi loo nto uba ayikho enye intaba ezawuphinda ivele ngaphaya, you see. So kuzabe kuthethwa ngaloo nto ke apha, sicaciselwa kabanzi ukuba how do you navigate apha kule journey yobomi. So ngeli xesha I want us to welcome uKamva ozasibizela asamkelele i-guest panelists zethu, singamqhobela izandla esaza ngaphambili.
And also I'm here to welcome our guest. Okay guys, the Saba welcome Manjalo. I would also like to do things and the same thing so that They left everything and anything they could do. Baza apa to unpack and dispatch and talk about a sensitive, sentimental topic Nati. So without that, to introduce the first guest of today, a very joyful yet innovative. Panamhlanje sobona elincane singalazi ngaye. Mr. Latie, Mtana, can person qhubela izandla eseza on stage. Hello. And moving right along, guys, I would like to welcome our second guest. Bathi-ke i-Dynamite ziza nge-small packages. But I like to believe ke mhlambi le ize nge-big package, a force to reckon with. I'd like us to welcome Noluvo, Nojoko on stage. Start imqhubeleni izandla, guys. Thank you. I-guest yokugqibela with the host says anayo endleleni. I'd like us to welcome bathi Mr. Suli abembiza bathi Young Lion as Mr. Sulelo Dingani. Thank you. Without forgetting, host with the most of the day, Sibo Ngalwana. Tasimshayeleni izandla sonke. Yes. Ningayeki. Seyfikile. Yay! Thank you. Oh, yeah. Molweni.
Hello.
Ninjani? Ndiyaphila nam. Igama lami Sibo Ngalwana. Sibo Ngalwana. Yeah, I'm the host for the podcast. Yeah, welcome to my guests. Welcome. This is introduciwe kamnandi, but I'd like to give you guys an opportunity for banizazise kakuhle. Kamva akayenzelanga justice introduction, and I'll start on my right.
Muleni, mandivulisa nonke. Kokwe ndawo nibekwe kuzo. Yes. And this again host here too. Sebenza nabo for the day. Igama lami ndingu Azola. Ifani yami Sulelo. Sincere, yes. Ndihlala Emfuleni. Yeah, I think these are the seal. That's enough.
The next one on the far end.
1, 2. Hi guys, my name is Latie Mtana. I am born and bred in Khayelitsha. Yes. I'm New Zealand's the age. But yeah. Born and bred in Khayelitsha, born again Christian. What else do you want to know? Nothing. I think I've covered all.
Hi guys, hope naphila. Igama lami Noluvo waka Nojoko. Abantu abaninzi bandazi ngoVovo ke. Born and bred in Cape Town, from Qonce back home. But ndikhulela apha eKapa, ndizalelwa apha eKapa. Yeah, parents are from that side. Ndisindisiwe ke ne ndiyamthanda kakhulu Yesu. I think that's just about it. Ezinye sizozikavarisha as we go.
Okay, enkosi kakhulu ngokuba ndisindisiwe.
Hallelujah.
Noba nithi podcast inciko. Okay. Okay guys, ndifuna nje senze something different today. Siqale nje something that's going to usinceda nge-nerves. Yeah, nge-nerves. I have one question which is going to help us break the ice. And Ndizawuqala ngoVovo. Vovo, if life yakho could be a movie, ingathini title yayo?
Yo guys, I'm trying to think. Yo, my life is very dramatic, right? My life is dramatic in all aspects. So, adiyazi nyani,
Young final destination plan.
no, because aside sifike.
Okay.
Yabo, aside sifike ku destination. Ibisizi yabona ungincedile ngale title. Ibisizi yathatha sharp curve. I feel like every season is like that. Ibisizi yathatha sharp curve. That would be the title
Sharp curve.
of my Ibisizi
Oh,
like yonke la yathatha sharp curve.
Okay.
Yabo. Then you experience it, guys.
Right. And we're
For me, Oyini. I think that best describes the title of my life. Oyini.
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 Oh, shame.
Yeah.
But why?
There are things that I've went through, either through experience, sometimes from people, sometimes from the associations or responsibilities, and sometimes from myself. Remember, sometimes you can hurt your own self, sometimes you get hurt by others, or sometimes you get hurt by things.
Yeah.
So, man, it's quite easy to wonder, man, but to take on I can't at this time.
Okay. Sikuwe ngokubhutaza.
Ndingathi leaving no stone unturned.
Yo. Hi. Hectic.
Yeah, because the go but into ndihambe ndajongana nazo zi-deep ayizizwe ze-age yam. Sometimes I don't even like noma mhlawumbe ndibe ndiziswa kwindawo ezinye because ngokundithethayo ifana nam yabo because ndimhla nazo nezigazi. So but ziyenzela imess eninzi ne-damage abakum. So that's why ke ndisithi ndikujululwe yabona, leaving no stone unturned.
Wow. Okay. I think been planning up, but it must also be back. We're leaving no stone unturned. We're leaving no stone unturned. I think from the titles of these movies, I'd really like to give you guys an opportunity to share briefly, as brief as possible, to share about your stories. As is bangel ba life yenu ni tightly shaped this way. And because Sesiten no stone unturned, can you briefly share your story with us? So that says over isukapi lendo iti, you are leaving no stone unturned.
Yeah, this one is sensitive. I always share again, go platforms so Facebook, very sensitive, and it's about manhood, about to buy indoor, there was a point where I get to hate horse, no buy indoor, because I'm living with HIV, it's Nyagawe is 14 lower, I think I city 15. So in the celebration, because I did it obedience in 10 years, so 15, 20. So iyanifaka ke kwikona akufuneka ndiyokoluka where ndachuza kuqala most obviously xa ufika pha udibana no-ankile baza kuze akho mntu uyaziba ndiphila nale nto. So I had to choose bagging guys ndine-ARVs and if asingeni phana then andiyi ndikhetha uba inkwenkwe yabo because andiyazi process yaphaa ngela xesha yabo but ke bandilungiselela uba no awungumuntu oqala abanye bazalwe nayo uyabona so bandenze libhoma eli-separate so that ndingabonwa ngabanye abakhwetha ndisitya ipilisi because they will think uba ikhona into mhlawumbi isitofu yabona endisebenzisayo so that ndingazofa mhlawumbi intlungu and then it's gonna be a problem xa ndiphuma bazondihleka ngaloo nto yabona into edibenise nesiXhosa inaso istigma yabona nendoda phakathi so ndabekwa ke ibhuma eli-separate and ndimane ndimungunye ke ipilisi yam ipilisi isela ngamanzi but ukho allowed kusele amanzi entabeni awuseli manzi sentsho ngamadoda ngapha khona bazoyazi le nto ithethayo yabo and so ndimungunye ke but ndagqitha ke apho but i-reality ke ngoku ifike ngela xesha ndike krwala khona yabo uba lekrwala mna ndakrwalaza ndishashwa uJanuary ndasijula phayizona because there was a day ndikwi-orientation yabo ndiyafika eVarsity so ndikwi-third day so ndiyaripota idate yam yobheka ekliniki so njengoba ndiripota ndixelele ilecture uba ndizobakho so ilecturer yaxelela i-student uba okay student nurse so and so yabo akazubakho yabo uye kwagqirha and then kukho ke ngoku eGrootmans zamaXhosa ndilekrwala mna so it's a problem ke ngoku yabo xa ulekrwala you are sponsor conscious, you are mistake conscious, you are sin conscious, you are careful to do in the wrong because of his yalo ozinikiweyo. So now I'm going to be a clinic and go comfortable as a clinic, but and go sure but what I noticed, but I was hiding myself from uze eclinic na uyagula yambona but ndinalani ba ikhona icomment mhlamba noyishiba ikrwala eclinic yabona something is wrong yebo so ezike ngokuzona zixelelwe ilecture ba khange sikwazi ulinda ba ayibo uyanjani eclinic lekrwala sandifonela during tea break qhaka ndizifake ku-loudspeaker so ndafonelwa yile number yam makhalazo uphi in the clinic, and then avela kwahlekwa yabo yabo oh yaza buyinqo yani sekunjalo. Obviously I know xa ndibuyela back to ecampusini yabuya phana andiyondoda yabona ndigatyiwe because beke clinic yabona because ungakhulelwa xa ulikrwala ngumakazi wakho kufuneka azothathwa i-ambulance. I'm telling you, welo kwala elo so zebingekho ambulance. Ngokufuneka umakazi enomntu efamily kufuneka ihambe nayo. Lizathi hayibo yayibona. Thini ndizawuyibaka indawo enesibhedlele phakathi bazothina abantu. So into leyo yayiyenzeka kum yabo. So nyani ke xa ndifike ecampusini ndarejectwa yayibona. But akho mntu uzayo. I think yona nto intenza umsindo. Azondibuza uba and ndafikelela to a point bandicinga yazityanxa isenza mazithenga ibhotile wenza into zakhona ba no man man into lolu hlobo beyibhotile ikhona siza kuthethelela ba okay understand the situation yakho but now bandihlekile man so now ndizabaxelela ngestatus sam and then bazophinda bandihleke yabona so yandenza umsindo laa nto yandicaphukisa ndacaphukela i-HIV ndacaphukela i-ARVs ndacaphukela uba ngumXhosa ndacaphukela uba indoda ndazicaphukela nje nami yabona ndafuna uzibulala and then at the same time ndafuna A1 ihlahlela nje yenza imvu yabona because ndikhulele kasi yabona phila ngela xesha le-gorals mini bamkile bandashiyeka by the grace of God. So like such experience ke yoqhaqa umuntu tonight ngoba ke make yabo disebenzi ba nganoko man teqheleka yabona theni ngoku yabo ndithi ndiyazi indlela yami yokoluka and then abantu bona bazothetha ngomhlobo babe bengazi uba bengiyothile clinic yabo. So but nalapho such decisions nje zaphelele ezingcingweni ba okay no, don't kill anyone, don't stab anyone, don't kill yourself. But indlela yam ndaye kuzidefine as a man. Like I don't mind into ezidibene namaXhosa namaKwana lizwoyi yabo. Ndaye kuzidefine as umXhosa. And it's a process getting busy here because umXhosa bohlala buhleli kum yabona. So that is the pain I went through. Yantriggerisha sometimes because I'm working in the hospital yabona, and I do meet amaKwana umuntu agule appendix. Not noba uguliswa kuba mhlambi kwenzeke into ebhomeni, but angafuni uba pha because i-society indlela ezamdefine ngayo as a man yabona. So yeah, so I got to understand, but no, I'm not a man, but I'm a human being.
Okay.
Being a man is just a stage.
Nanto bendiyithetha ngenzithi ii-guests zam always zindiphendula ndingekazi. Okay, anyways. Vovo, ubusiza. Is it right, ne? Yeah, Tati Sharp Kev. What's your story?
Yo guys, Uvovo is a multiple rape survivor. I got molested at the age of 3 by a woman, by the way. I got raped at the age of 6 by a guy that passed away 2 years ago. I got raped at the age of 10 by Umfundisi that passed away on Monday, this Monday. I know people have those remarks, so it's fine. And I get and understand where that comes from. I got raped by an uncle. Passed away a couple of years ago, just before a trial finished. Got sick and died, and then I got, there's a lot, right? By an uncle again. At the age of 18, I got raped by a friend 2 years ago. It's a matter of me having Noluvo as my friend, and he comes into my space, I'm comfortable with him. And because I always share about these things, and then Omuntu takes advantage of that. So it's that matter. I never even took that one to court. I just decided, you know what, I'm not safe with you, I blocked and moved on, right? Uvovo is that person, but above all, I run an organization that assists people that have went and gone through, right, the same issues. I've went through rejection care from society and family because of these experiences in the theater. One of the people that ended up resenting me and rejecting me at one stage in life was my own mother. And I always believe in Dobana. The reason why I opened that organization is because that experience is an experience that most people go through, but they do not know where and how to get help. Because my mother, initially, the first couple of instances, she was receptive towards the issue. She was my anchor, she was my strength. She helped and she went through the pain. But remember, a 30-year-old who has a child or a child at the age of 6 and is a single parent, they receive that, and then at the age of 34, the same child goes through the same thing. And I go she goes through this pain. Yeah, now she's trying by all means, forgetting herself, neglecting herself, and doing all these things to help, but even the society and system is neglecting her, right? Because you are this child that is solely the initial or the primary victim, but my mother was a victim as well. She got abused through me being abused. There was a time where because the person that raped me tried to kill us as a family because and then it went. That person was a friend to my aunt. And then the next person was a pastor who was engaged to a family member. And the third person was my uncle, and the fourth person was my uncle. On the second uncle, she busted. And it took me years to say. I just said Sulelo when we're sitting there, my mom would know something and I bonus and I direct her boy. And I do believe and I know in her mind and in her conscience and in her spirit, she knows her brother did that, but she was not willing to admit she would do this, he would do this thing. So I remember I had went to speak with event Pastor Mboniswa, I think around 2014. This thing happened 2009, right? And when I spoke on that event, God said to me in Dobana, you need to be out in the open with each and every one of them, about each and every one of them, because your ministry is about to name and shame people. And now, when you're naming and shaming people, there's going to be someone that's sitting there that is listening and say, I remember that person. I think I know land. For example, when I posted the post 80, there's a pastor, that is the pastor that raped me. Someone said in my WhatsApp, I'm an so and I just did not answer her, right? Because they have a certain experience that they do not know the experience that I have. And at this point, it's not about me. They're also going through pain of losing someone. Yeah, so when I opened up that organization, I thought of my mother and someone else. Because when I told her after that event, Mangwele said, say, Ted, is it? So I went home and shared one betty more people, I don't is to go in the because now she's retaliating. Now she is speaking out of pain because she's losing people. She needs to choose this one person. Yes, it's a duty as a mother, but it's not, she did not sign up to go through these things. And it took some time. The relationship, obviously, but because of the grace of God and because God had walked through this path for him now, this is what's happening, this is what you need to break, this is what you need to walk towards. So the reason why I named it remember, I'm saying my friend when I was 33, right? I had just launched my event, my organization a year before, and this person was hands-on. This is one person I would say, hey, ideas event, okay, let me call Ubani. Hey, ideas, like, this is a friend. I mean a friend indeed, Sulelo type of friend that would say, hey, this is what I'm going. So, it is Caesar, man. It is Caesar. It had a sharp curve because also I'm not just the only victim at home as well. Yes, then something else comes back. When you're good, you are healed with yourself. Then by the same pastor that just passed away, I had just heard in Dobana, and Mtana got raped. And he had the guts to fight in Dobana, how dare you, while he did the same thing to me. Now, Ibisiza, you're trying to heal, and then you meet up this pastor who's and this person acts as if Zango Wabona and we are Yebo, ibisiza, there are many triggers and there are many things that uthi so wambe umgama uphinde ubuye. Yebo, uzifumane at the initial point again and again. Yebo, but in the ininsi yeah.
Must tell you, oh, yini.
Yini sana.
Yeah, let's unmute. Okay. I asked you why you called me. Yeah. Okay. Why did I title my movie Oyini? Okay.
What's your story? Yeah.
Okay. You guys have big stories. I said this also earlier. Okay. I grew up with my mother. We were best friends. I was the only child for 9 years. So you can imagine the love I got. First born, first Mtana, first everything. So I was Mtana that is well taken care of by the family. As much as we had nothing, but the nothing that was there was for me. And I enjoyed that. I had a best friend in my mom. I don't have any paternity relationship, but with my mother, it was perfect. You know, I'm in grade 6. My mother moves out to Eastern Cape without me knowing, and I'm living with my grandmother now. When I say Oyini, I thought that was okay until I was older. How dare you, bestie, leave me like that? Even So, growing up, I'm going through puberty. There are changes in my body and my activities. There's no high. Because high kama kulu. Unasone stoki kunoka mama awemvu. Right?
Yeah.
So I am this individual that is soaring through life independently, because I'm not totally dependent on my grandmother, because we are coexisting, codependence upon each other. Same dollar. So and then my mother comes back, she buys me high school clothes and stuff, and then she goes again. So one thing that my first Oyini was me having to experience not the loss, but the loss of the closest person, not knowing how that will trigger me at this age, right? So I had now to be a 12-year-old taking care of his grandmother, being taken care of by his grandmother. So I'm some sort of a caregiver to my caregiver, and I'm only 12 years old. I soared through high school, could not afford a farewell in grade 7. Teachers, there's a family of the Solomons. They blessed me. So they contributed towards a farewell year grade 7. And at that time, I was just happy that I'm going. That's my motto to take me there. I know people. And it is only when I was experiencing, not puberty, but when you are reaching manhood, whereby you're like, I think I missed something during my childhood. Because now I have to be this adult and I'm young. I was also not raped, but I was harassed by the same neighbor 3 times. And knowing my mom, she would have fought that. Even. And I was with my grandmother, she wanted to fight, I'm like, hey, to yek. But then, mommy's not here. I can feel on the phone that she wants to fight for me, but she can't because she's not here. She's with my stepdad in Eastern Cape starting a life, and I have a brother already. So I am going through these things. Remember, we are 100% dependent on SASSA. And then, see, Umakhulu was in my kitchen at that time. She stopped 2014 when I was in grade 9, when she was turning 60. And I started going to Eastern Cape. Asina Eastern Cape history today. So I'm going to Eastern Cape. My stepdad's family, they love me so much, right? We had a bond with them. So as much as I'm belonging here, but I don't feel the sense of belonging also. Because number one, I had somehow, I had a father also. Because my stepdad loved me very much. And I knew he was not my biological father, but he was trying. And I do acknowledge that. Now I'm going to Eastern Cape, and I'm this young gay boy in Nkukumbu. You can imagine coming from Cape Town to Nkukumbu. And the first time was an experience, the second time was an experience, the third time was like, this is my last time being here. Because also, not only my relationship with my mom is not as close, because now I'm starting to ask questions. So we are no longer so close anymore. So I was excited for the holidays because I'm going to go visit my mom. And then the excitement eventually died. Because the only person that is my pillar is my grandmother, who's in Cape Town. And I have this going on. I have a paternity crisis, so I'm sleeping with older men now because I'm seeking validation. I'm up and down, but one thing I always applaud myself for is never dropping out of school and never dropping out of church, right? Because I was a figure Sunday, but at least you know you have people you can account to, ne? So that happens. I'm the poorest in the school, and I was getting a sandwich from teachers every day. So, and my grandmother's now unemployed, Dipila Sasa, and in order for me to eat a Gatsby, I have to make acquaintance. So my friends, my best friends, still friends now, even 11 years later, I'm exposing them. Mtana wenesi, Mtana we law enforcement officer, Mtana we tisha. So now 15, 27, I was sorted. Ne? And the first in Hamkan Grandila, I was sorted. They were sorted. So that's how I survived high school. And there are things that I joked about. And one of us, I'm a very, very flamboyant, funny person. But there are jokes that I used to make to protect and guard my emotions.
Okay.
I remember in grade 10, grade upper as Bondo, and my LO teacher, Miss Dace, was promised me should buy me a grade because it has great class in it. So the Kumenge blazer. So now I will show you this mkazuko so that you don't make fun of it. Okay. So I grew up like that. And when you know your mom has responsibilities at a. So now, and also not used to being too dependent on that side of the world. So if my grandmother can't do it, it's either I'll save for my SASSA money, which I did, because it's quite training so that I can afford something for me. School and money. I remember we had those skinny, I was a basic color, blue, green, whatever. I would lay by 3 months for Mr. Price. And I'm only 50. So, my oyinis began at my most sensitive needy stage. Because I had this person, she's still alive, we're very cool, but we had an establishment when I was young, and I was used to that structure. And that structure and bond just fell off. And I had to live with it. And then when my grandmother now is sick, I have to take care of her. So my highlight of my ohinis, I remember in my trip very well. My grandmother is diagnosed. She's a surgical patient in KDH. She gets sick in March. Who's taking care of her? Me. She's very weak. I have to lift her up. I remember and it was rush hour. Say clinic. That time I'm writing life science at 9 o'clock. So I'm this schoolboy, take his grandmother to the clinic, have to drop her there and show her phone and food. You're still going to write. You're gonna come back. It's either she's still waiting for me there or she's now admitted in the hospital. You don't know. You have to come back. The house is reeking with urine. If men in share because she can't do anything for herself. Another subject. So I have to be that person, and I'm only 17. And that had to make me, now you know what? This is my mission here. I have to do it or die.
Yeah.
Then June comes, June exams. This lady's sick again. She's admitted to KDH for 2 to 3 weeks. I remember, I was working actually quite a lot. I remember reminding them, they can't remember obviously. I used to even have allowance to enter outside visiting time because I am busy with school. So just let him in and leave. And September trial exams, this lady's sick again. And I'm alone. I'm not her son. She has children and I'm taking care of her. So we are hungry also, remember, like we are hungry. That hungry, I mean, when I had my first sperm meal, ribs in first year, second year, UWC. That's when I had the money my was taking ribs, I was spare. When I grew up, remember they were familiar with these experiences and I didn't. And that also placed me at another position. But one thing I admire about the people I acquainted myself with is that they tried all means to make me comfortable. Able? So now I'm growing up to be a man. I want to know who my father is. I want to know where my father is. I want to know why you were not here. I want to be an independent adult. I want to do things as an adult. I have aspirations. I have 2 brothers looking after that are coming after me. So now I have to also be selfless again because now dear phone never city, right? And I'm doing all of this independent. There's no support. Ne? And I spoke about my farewell our grade 70, but they're leaving my matric. I got sponsors in order for me to go. And I went with the SUV, thank you. Okay. Anyway, Ilanduka, my acquaintances, they assisted me. So I'm this person, and it's not about ufunela wena, ufunela ikaya. And now you have siblings. My remember I was the only child for 9 years. So my sibling is 9 years younger than me. They're old enough to be my kid. The other one is 16 years younger than me. So now I have to fundela bona. No matter what happened during my growing up, no matter how my relationship with my mother is, I still have to put myself eqaleni and focus on them. So there are things and hurt that you allow when you are selfless. You allow abuse, you allow negative verbal abuse, you tolerate a lot of toxicity. Because remember, you don't have a sense of belonging at home. And also, it's never about you. Even it? So now you also do things to make you feel like it's about you. Even it? So let's do things that will make us feel good about ourselves. And I'm young. Even it? Graduate nicely. I'm a professional. Young professional. You can afford to do nonsense. Because mine is here. You get paid. You want to go drink, 1 o'clock you wake up, you go do it. Even it. So it's only now whereby I'm realizing that I need to go back. Actually, I'm going back and dealing with things as they are, because I have this avoidance character. Now that I'm maturing, things are coming back. Stupid little things like, I never liked it actually, because now you're understanding the sensitivity of it.
Yeah.
And if you doesn't, I like connections with people. I love having connections because I've never had it. I've had it young and then it went out. So, Oyini Bam has made me to be this person. And Oyini,
from the stories, I'm sensing the tata away one thing, which is rejection.
Yeah.
And there's no one in that guys naive rejection. Rejection was, as we know, I think from your stories, I think luckily or positively it impacted in a good way. Because being rejected would make umntu enze izinto ezirong okanye drastic decisions. What made you to decide against ukuyo chakala as a boys? What made you decide against taking your life? Because there's rejection right at the center of this. Yintoni lena ithi no, don't do it.
Yeah, yabona mos xa ungumntu unecala eli-right unecala eli-wrong, yabona qha kuyashiyana uba leliphi elizi-expressayo kakhulu lide libe liyabohlula. Yabona uba ubohlulwa kukulunga apha kuwe, uzobona uzolunga nakwezinto suppose uyalunga kuzo, yabona, because ukulunga kuyakoyisa, like into eqobileyo, yabona. Yes, okay. So kwenzeke loo nto apha kum, yabona, ngohlobo loba xa ndifumana le rejection, because you know abantu bekureject ingase bakuxelele uba no man siyakurejecta ngoku, but ingabe bavele bathule, yabo, fana noba mhlawumbi xa ulahle. I think kumnandi xa uxelela uba okay relationship iyaphela noba vele kuthuleke, yabo. So into endicaphukisa mna ndandicatshukiswa yinto yoba akho mntu uthethayo, yabo. Wonke umntu uthule, qha ndibona nje ke-actions uba ndiphethe ukutya, yabona, akwikhitshi ke phaa. So ndihambe ndiyothatha ukutya ekhitshini, ndizohlala nam ndijoyine igroup. Vele kuthi ndishiywe nje ngolo hlobo, wonke umntu athi hayi ndisaya elibrary, ndisaya ikhompyutha lebo, hayi ndisaya emeeting yam, yabona, like ndishiywe nje ngolaa hlobo, yabona. Omnye mhlawumbi bheke nje noba uyephi, qha because abafuni ispace esinam, because they feel like andiyondoda, yabona. So esiba ndisitsho ukuba ngelaa xesha bese noko ndizama ukwenza izinto ezirayithi, yabona, ndizama ufocusa kum, because I believe that, yabona, kukho izinto njengoba ndithetha ngokuba right noburong, xa sewuzidiscoverishile uba wena ungubani, then you know that into erongo suyenza, yabona. Focus kwezi zinto zirayithi, because umsindo it's one of izinto endoyisayo, yabo. Ndisebenza nge-timing, awusoze like undibone ndingumntu aggressive, like ubona kumisayo ubumsindo wami uhleli kanje, I can kill you wendlela so, because nomsindo qha ndibona uba nomsindo ncokola nawe kahle, yabo, ubulale nje nge-timing, yabona. So lo lahlo dangerous, bekusuppose ndingumntu osemovie, Yeah, well,
Okay, so are you saying self-discovery?
Yes,
Self-control.
yes, exactly. Yabona, ukwazi uzidiscoverisha, like when a self-discovery, then it's easy to control yourself.
Okay.
Because you get to discover your weaknesses, you get to discover your strengths. So if we bully weakness, then I'm telling you, so because the weakness is going to see the wrong. Bahamba sibulale yabo but azola sulelo no man ibanga azola sulelo yabona i-HIV izaphila apha kuwe yabo because icabukela nayo but ke uzayithini ke ngoku iphila apha kuwe because the minute ucabukela i-ARVs uzaziyeka you get sick bazobeka abo bantu beqhubekeka nobomi babo so nawe vele ube nguwe yabona ayikwenzi into abakureject like ndafikelela kwinto ukuba even if nami bebembona kwala libheke clinic benzojaja so ndabuya hama okay xa nobona ubulelani esiye clinic eliqwala hayi benzomjaja because yindlela like isithina singamaXhosa yabona esiconditioner ngayo saprogram ngayo phi engqondweni yabo so ndaphinda ndabuya no man akunyanzelekanga ndigo through that so ndabuya ndakhama.
Latie, you speak about your mother being taken away from you, taking herself away from you. How has that affected the relationships that you have now? Because remember, if you have experienced low rejection before, how has that affected the relationships and the quality and the authenticity yako kuzo?
Okay. As much as it's rejection, it's also isolation.
Okay.
How it affected my relationships. Remember, I'm feeling like this from someone who gave birth to me.
Yeah.
I love her so much. And even blown a statue guy. Yeah? And because she's my mom. And I know what we had. And I will try my utmost best to close that void by loving you 150%.
Okay.
So I invest a lot in other people to the point whereby when I sit down and be like, who is actually pouring into my cup? The amount of output is a lot than the intake. Even because if when you don't have, okay, you want to be loved, you want attention, you want whatever, because I don't want you to feel like me. Even because it's not just anyone. I am feeling like this from my mom. Even when you are young, you overthink. Ne? Hence, I really wanted to actually have a sit down with my mother one day, and it will happen in Jesus' name. There are things that I was conclude happen when you are.
Yeah.
Even I will never do that. Like, why would she leave me? Maybe she was in trouble. Let me understand on her side. But also, I lost you, sweetie. Even now ensure that Sulelo, and sometimes man, so that I'm not feeling, and then that has made me to be taken advantage by a lot of people, and not just only socially. Even or just in a group, just in a person, or in any type of relationship, because you rather tolerate bullying from you as long as you are still here. But what I will ensure is that you are fine when I behave in test. So this way,
I'm thinking now is I wonder how relationships, no friendship, no gay relationship, no you ufune uba ngumama ke ngoku. I'll sit when you keep on pouring because Kumbona umuntu ongumama imother figure. Kufike umuntu ezongixelela, hayi man, mntase suyenza loo nto. Don't do this. Yenza kanje. Like don't you get to that point where ufuna uba ngumzali ke ngoku sisichomi, you're like, chomi. The boyfriend doesn't talk. No. Awuzulunga. But ungumzali wami chomi yami.
Yes. I think also unyanisile ndimkelo. I think also one thing enenza ndibe like ndime is that ne friend, my closest circle is like that to me also. So I learned from them also le yoba hayi, but so ke mna ndizakuthanda wena ne, but ndizakuxela xa urongo, ndizakunqanda, but ke awuyindawo sizawuthandana apha mna nawe sizoba ziitshomi, and if udinga into ndizakunika tsho nam. But one thing about me, I'll tell you when you're wrong. I'll be that mzali, hey, awuzwenza loo nto apha. Okanye you wanted to settle for something at 200, just make an example. But you can get the original price of 500 and it's more quality. And I think technica, I'll see up on 200.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay.
Like how a parent would do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Vovo, I'm thinking now, as you are taking us through the instances, and through the years, and abantu that were actually perpetrators, how close they were to you. I think we've got different opinions when it comes to rape.
Yeah.
Omnye would expect it to be a certain way. Abanye are experiencing it, but they're not conscious by you.
Yes.
Can you take us through the different types of but the different where I'm going. Who is at home and experiencing this thing. Oh, okay.
Okay. The first instance I said I was 3, right? But the first instance came into my mind when I was already dealing around 2014, when I was already dealing with the healing journey. I was already in my mid-20s. Now, the first instance is a sibling to my brother. Brother was ne? Sibling to my brother, my sister wakhe kuthiwa like ushiwe nomntana, yabona? Ushiwe Latie nomntana plus nalo mdalanyana gcina apha abantwana bam Latie, yabona ne? And then now girl used to masturbate with me. She would cause me to touch her. Ne? She would cause me to masturbate her with me. I still remember vividly. I recently bought ushoti with tracksuit or grey, never stay grey, solely because I'm working towards healing that part of myself. Ne? She was wearing ezo zinto uyabona ezi vest zika JT1, similar to something that she was wearing, as a vest in ushoti. I still remember that indawo ekwakukuyo it was wayekwibhedi esezantsi kwakhona ibhedi phezulu. I remember the walls, I remember the corridors, I remember everything. Ne? I remember even the smell. Ne? Girl would do that. I remember 2 instances that she did this. And then after that, I struggled with masturbation. I remember my mom would go to work with me. Ndandithanda uzikhuhla mna emethini, yabona emethi. Ndandithanda uzikhuhla pha emethini. And I was around 6. Ne? This is before the first rape ke ngoku. Yabona? Then at 6, lo bhuti uyitsho mkamakazi is always ekhaya usoloko esiza, so yabona. And then siyadlala pha phandle because uhlala kwalapha. Andibize izapho uneshopha nyana ne, but obviously ezinye izinto azikho eshop. Ucela uyondithengela amazambane ne. As a result, a relationship namazambane ayikho ncam.
Makes sense.
If ndithenga amazambane endlini, I'll just buy just. Other than that, ayikho ncam.
Okay.
Ne? And you realize it because I'm very intentional about healing. Ne? Then Mbothenga amazambane ndabe ndiyothenga ke le bhantshi besidlala sibaninzi xa ndibuyayo abekho abanye. And ekhaya it's like 3 houses away ujikela irhawu uyayibona mos into ohlala ezimbacweni uyayibona sasihlala kwakhikhi ke mos. So athi ngena faka pha. So xa ungena obviously lecala line shopping yana wayinabona ubumokolanyana ne but akho bantu. And then ndizongena ndifake ngapha kwecounter. Then kwakukhona ibhedi eyayiphaya like how amaSomalia does banebhedi ngapha kwecounter. It was something like that. So ndifaka ngapha kwecounter and wavala umnyango andijonganga nto mna ndingenile wakhupha ipakethi yelekesi and then wandipina ebhedini. This guy pinned me on the bed and he told me, if you scream, I will kill your mom, I will kill your brother, I will kill everyone in that house and I will kill you. And he raped me and I didn't say anything. Stulela, and then I went home. Because my mom was a hands-on person and also a single mom. So yes, because at that time. And then la sis umntana ke xa esikolweni uzasekrishi and then abuya silande then yabo mama uzasifuna. So now bathi hey sanda yibonto nje. Number 1 ndigcwele semen all over me. And the semen was done ngezolo and it keeps on coming out. Uyandivasa eleke sithi eleke sithi ne. And then the case why wabuza I didn't say anything. That's what the doctors confirmed. And yeah, the case proceeded and whatnot. Then the other person, there's an instance again that I hardly speak about. Ne? I think also that instance is to protect someone very dear to my heart. Ne? Because of the person that did this. But but almost did. I remember everything because this happened exactly in my house and this person almost raped me. He was a little bit drunk because one of the siblings got injured and then this person came and because there was something I don't remember what, but we ended up sleeping in this initial room. I think mama wayethenisha uyabona masityotyo uyakwazi ujika ikhitshibeli ngapha liyoba ngapha ya. So I think that's what she was doing, but there was still a lot of impahla and whatnot, so we ended up sleeping apha phansi. So nje mendleli apha phansi, my brother was sleeping ebedini yena lomncinci and then mina ndilele apha phansi. So this man comes behind me but ndethuke because my instincts and izavuka yabo. I'm very light sleeper because of certain things. Awungeke ufike wenze nantoni na endlini. I will only sleep because I trust you fully futhi ndilale yabo. So ndavuka xa ndivuka lingaki igqajo lapha emva kwam and he's trying between my legs and then I was like, I'm going to tell my mom yebo. And then wayeka wakhwela ebhedini watipa walala and I never said anything till to date. And then my uncle or umfundisi we were playing siyaleqana singabantwana and it was a Sunday, so umama was like, hey nizandilibazisa ndifuna ecawe ndedwa. She goes to church alone. Oh, wesinsiwe guys, abamama basinsiwe badikayo. How I am today wesinsiwe la didikayo. So aziyele ecaweni and then siyazidlalela ke uthina ushiye ished uba khawuxike icapha eshed. Uyabona mos xa usafundisa umntana ona 10 11 12 uba xixele eshed xixele ezikaos uyebo. So she went to church and then axixele izinto emntizoneke xa ndigqiba ubone gqitho kuyabaleka sileqane umfundisi izapho kutheni ungayanga ecaweni. Ndike mna ka umama uyedwa sishiwe kulo nombuso and then okay utata wavala umnyango and wandifaka amalwimi wenza uyabona yonke ezaa zinto. And then I got out of there ndahamba ndiyohlala kule ndlu besigciniswa kuyise next door. Ndafika kwakukhona umsebenzi owawukhona. I can't really recall noba yayingumsebenzi traditionally okanye it was just a gathering of family and whatnot, but there was something there. So izitulo ii-couches zazisendaweni eyi-room. So I got there ndazisonga ekoneni yestool until someone asked me. And then I told them, but they did not know what to do about the information. They just, I think ukwethuka nongayazi into yoba uzayiqala ngaphi into engaka. And then the following day I told principal, because one of my aunts wayifundisa kwesaa sikolo, so I was used to the stuff. Yabona ndingumntana emismos because makazi wamsebenza apha. So kulula to know otishara and ndwebile ndingabantwana mamothatha ibag yam. So I was that kid. And then that principal called my mom, kwabizwa abanye befundisi. That one was dealt with sisifundisi and the principal. My dad was there. My dad was fuming, wanting to open a case. What he said, uzawuvula case, it's fine, we'll deal with this. But my dad is soft. So even if we will deal with this, he will never even know plana to do something. Yeah. Then my uncle at home, my mom takes one of his younger brothers to come and live with us because of Funda SCPUT at that time. Very brilliant guy. He was doing engineering and so we were close because I loved science. So sinala relationship. So it started by Amane Esiti Dobana. Kayonde Duleli bed. My mom was very strict, especially towards me. So I'd be cleaning, I'd be cooking. So by that age, I think I was 15 because I was doing it was between grade 7 and grade 8, right? 14, 15 between there when this thing happened. So I'm going to do a little bit, so I'll do that. So this first instance, I see him standing by the door, right? And immediately I was not okay. There was something wrong. And then the second time he comes and brushes my thighs, right? But I'm not saying anything at home, And then this other time he was watching porn. We decided to, we had a thing of so do that thing and whatnot. So we ended up sleeping. So he then decides to watch porn, right? And then ndivuke. So I think he gathered that ndivukile, and then he sends me again. And then he tries again, but there was his stepfather in the room. So I'm like, I will shout. And then he doesn't do anything. But still, I don't say anything. Yeah, but one thing about rape, it silences you. There's a level of shock that comes over you. Even if you tried right now, even if you dating, especially I'm speaking from myself, even if sometimes but now you end up allowing the person because you do not want to relive that moment of rape, so it shuts you off. Then during the week, so during the focus biggest and whatnot. So this particular Saturday, umamuvu benze washing the day before. Then what is it, your neck? So she goes to work, and then my sister then now wakes me up. Like she's trying to do something to irritate me, but and so bad. But again, this thing happened. This guy did everything. I was sleeping, And when I woke up in Nigeria, and you could feel the pain, you could feel everything that happened. And at that time, the Mdala, around 15, I already know what's happening. And then sister comes just after that. On the talk, I told me, I am young brothers, ne? Bavuka and go to washing dinner because now I'm trying to understand what just happened. Yeah. And then my sister comes in. We were saying boot as much as because he was young. Yeah, but Vuka in bed, and then he comes, he hits me. I think no mistake. Yeah, but now I was starting to lose him back for him. I think on a mistake because of Kala when Zed and then now we are into zone better. Like I think I paid my policy because I had no guards of I had no and the husband then I take me to my mother. Yeah, but and then the police station, social workers were like, we need this to and my mom was shocked. My mom was like, we need to call your family and stuff. And social workers were like, we're opening a case. Girl. Yabo, sivuli case. Mind you, umama kakhulelanga ngowabo. Umama mukhuliswe into bana ndisebenze kwaLatie then ndienda ngishiya abantwana bami kwaLatie. ULatie avela aqonda into ba abantwana abancinci khame ke ndivele I fully adopt them. Babe ngabantwana bakaLatie fully even with surnames and stuff. So akakhulelanga ngowabo ne. So this brother is the one of the biological brothers, their family yakhe, because she ended up getting to know your family yakhe. Okay. Now, obviously, they do not have that sense of this is my niece, because Galobu still now also a teenager. Yeah. So basically, fine. So now my mom again is losing another portion of her life, a very important part of her life, because now the family kind of broke and she couldn't go there. She couldn't, as much as abanye babezama here and there, but it was because now they're protecting themselves from being disowned by Ab. And also, when it's a part of family that is kind of okay financially and status-wise, then, but that was fixed again because I don't want to lie, now the relationship, family, but we're good. But the people that I chap now, and then, my
so in the Fumanayo is the one who there's no penetration there.
The one with the lady, there's no penetration.
There's no penetration there.
Masturbation.
Okay.
And then the initial primary first one was.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Isoba, the second one as well with this person I won't name. Is there's no penetration. And then the other person, there is oral penetration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the uncle, there's oral and penetration. And then umalume lona ke ngoku, that is also a sibling to my mom. Naye ke, they had recently found each other. Umamabo wayoshiya omnye ngapha washiya abanye ngapha, so it was that thing, So they recently found each other and whatnot. And then now umntanakhe is going entabeni. Umntanakhe siyentabeni nje. Now my mom can't really go, so my uncle is saying it's because uzithengelizini is like ngizawuthumela uvovo ne, because I was very close ke nabantwana bakhe. Like ngizawuthumela uvovo and go. This is me doing first year, and then I go, but if we were sensitive enough to the voice of God that time, I wouldn't have gone.
Okay.
But because we were not sensitive, ne? Because things that were leading to that incident were saying trouble is there's trouble in paradise, but we just did not. I think we took 48 hours. There was just a lot happening just from the onset that imali ingena. So umalume is like, okay, I'll also send imali and whatnot. So I had then now to open a bank account. So he's the first person who's opening up a bank account for me. So he's the only person that knows that bank account. Ne? Fine. Athumelekile mali ndenze izinto ndihambe xa ndifika. First day is fine. Second day, kufike some of his friends ababobhuti, and then kufike intombi yakhe iphinde ihambe. Because also funeka bekufutshane nalo ungenileyo, yabona. So okay, cool. Sihlale ndiyozihlalele erumini, yabona. Ended up sleeping because our bantu bahlele front, they drinking. It was not even heavy drinking, yabona. Then they took I was sexually active that time, so I know what sex is. I know when someone is arousing you and doing whatnot. So they took a tongue, and I'm feeling myself, okay, I'm aroused and something is happening. And this person is behind me, fingering me from behind, and we are doing all types of I froze for a while. Remember up and this one and then I decided, you know what, I'm going home, which is a kayaking. Then the following day, hi, bo, what happened? Don't mama man phone. Athi uhleli nabani apho. Ndithi ke mna ke ebekhona ubani, which is intombi yakhe. Akekho kodwa ngoku. Oh, okay. Ngoba nandithi abekufike ntshitshona sigama lomntwana. Okay. But she asked the question again. Because and in my prayer when that thing happened, I said, I just pray that my mom sees this. Because I know that she's gifted that much that she will know. But then she just did not want she saw it, but she just didn't know what to do. And also because I was not giving her the information. You understand? And then that happened, and then
specific times. Yes.
A friend of mine comes. I'm single. I will have issues in Klambad.
A friend.
Yeah, but so Sulelo, come here. Can you do this for me? Like, so this guy comes. We're friends. Like, I mean, friends. We talk about everything. We're friends. Dude, we haven't seen each other in a while, so can we meet? Okay. Mamela xawusiza usosuze nento enelizithile because didinga upanenelo into ethile apha. Okay, chapter yenza loo nto sure. Andifowunele ndiyeza sure. Xa efika endlini, ne? There was a friend of mine, two friends of mine that were there the previous day. So there was a bottle of wine in the fridge, right? So it's like, yo, Dingani, this is sana in the lapha wine and it was to sell wine. I don't know, I actually do drink wine. Kupeli glassy, and then we sit there, we chat, we're talking. I get into a call, right? We're talking. Get into a call. It was just it was a very quick call, and I was alerting the person about, can we talk a little bit later because still no home to man. and we need to really get into the conversation. Okay, cool. Drop the call, and then we get back to our chat. Sister Njogola is touchy, and I'm like I couldn't say anything. I was confused. I went blank. I froze. Touchy. Diphakame ngiphume. And then I come back again in the house. Sihlale. Akanqulanga lo muntu la wanengakho. It was just two half. Yabona mase wanegala kangakanani. So just those akanqulanga. So I can never say unqulile. Fine. Sihlale and I'm like khalukuthi hamba ne, because but ke only freezing, I'm confused, I'm blank. And then I get into the bathroom, I take a shower. Dinxibe. Denza into yoba uyabona malungiselela ulala chap. Uyabona. Go. And then this person, load shedding. But I had a UPS ending. So delight UPS. And then tsali imiqamelo ndiyibeke kwikona yemiqamelo, because my space is an open plan space. So ndiyibeke kwikona yemiqamelo. Umntu aphakame angene showering. I am confused as hell. Ndingene ebhedini ndibuze mna into yoba awuphangeli chap, uhamba nini? Andizohamba ekuseni. I am confused as hell, because we've never even spoken about dating. I'm like, okay. Dilali. Umntu tries again. Andifonelanga nawe. And also silala nabo meeting asoyitu. Why? Oh, I can never tell you what that guy said. Dilali, and he gets behind me. Tries again. Until I just could not say it. I froze. He tried to penetrate me from behind. And and he tries, he comes, and I'm like, what the hell is happening here? Because I'm totally confused. And then it's saying, oh, he sleeps, he wakes up again, he tries. I'm like, dude, what is this? Because I'm like, you don't let what we don't let's put and the big and then that was just about it. And when he left, I blocked him. I never said anything to him. Blocked him on WhatsApp, blocked him on Facebook, blocked him everywhere. And they're just thinking about it's distance and whatnot, but yeah.
So I asked these questions so that Abantu could be conscious of izinto that could lead to irreplaciation, which is the penetration. I just want to ask Fonje, izinto ezimbalwa singatsali guys, what are your triggers?
I grew up having no father, and I feel like if maybe at that time there was a father figure in my life, this is what is happening now, then obviously I can't like it because yindaba yokuba ngabinotata and being a man on your own inayo indima eyidlala diphinde nami ndibe utata yayibona. So ndiyazama yayibona zenzele imigudu yami, but mna ndifatherisho andiyazi noba kunjani noba kunjani ungabi na uba nodada, but I'm fine, yabona. So I even tried again nasecaweni indaba yoba dada, yazi ke dada usiqonda ndiyadikwa yabo. It's a trigger to me when someone says I think dada, like ndiyadika xa njenza loo nto ecaweni, like the God of my father, like kuyandisebenza lo mntu yintoni yabo, because it was horrible. Ndiyitry ndiyofuna utata ecaweni, yabele yambi experience about data, because yabona into xa yenzekile urejectiwe, umntu uyakwazi uyisenza laa nto, then asebenzise advantage. Okay, yeah, this person has no father figure, then let me just menze nje uthalala, yabona. So that was the experience. Yanditriggerisha kakhulu, like uziqonda bendisitsho ngoku kusisifoma ndiyazibuza thina ntoni na thina nge-church head, but andifuna uba direct, yabona kuyo. But this thing of having no father, it triggers uba ndifight against the manhood, like I'm against the indoda, because I don't want any man as identify as indoda, because yayibona, and yes, yeah, like kusise idolatry uba indoda has the final say, then kufika izinto zoba indoda must. So kukho amadoda are weak but awathethi, yayibona, because uprogrammiwe uba from usemncinci uba angozivela, yayibona, hamba ngofighter, yenza lena, yayibona, suba weak man, yayibona. Kube kufuneka uthethile, endapha ungathethi uxhoma intambo, uthathe intambo man uzixhoma, yayibona. So yeah, this thing of having no father figure, kuziqonda ndine-content efana if nendijonga, being the person I am, having such a content on Facebook, like, but now the end that's discovered, okay, man, I need someone, and it's hurting me as a guy. Like and call used bad man, like and keys bar, yabo, but yayibona okay, man, it's working, corner in that way, born. So I can say it triggers zizoba mhlawumbe obulelani ba asenkonzweni ufike my father. Mna for me umfundisi ngomfundisi kum, makandifundise izweni attachment kudada, because I'm not used to that, yayibona ne. Ewe mhlawumbe ngabe ndiyayidinga omnye mhlawumbe azame ngandlela, but umthomnike esa space, because yeah, andimthembi ufuna
cela usiphe ezakhe triggers. Ubuzane sendikufile.
Ezami triggers asutshayela phansi. Oh, don't do that. I work very hard to be where I am today. I know how to have nothing. So don't undermine my efforts.
Okay.
If it's not good enough for you, it's the best for me. Even. And also, oh my good Lord, don't blue tick me. Don't mise me. When I'm talking, look at me. It's like you're not listening to me. I rather wait. If you know we've had a conversation, I'm very strict. Like, it's either you are here or you're not here. Because I don't want to feel alone in this conversation. And when you are blue ticking me, I'm already concluding a lot of things you're thinking about me. Like, if I'm a message, it's like, it's not worthy of your attention, or you don't value me the way I think you do, or you're rejecting me, or I'm not relevant in your life as I thought I was. Yes, there are people up here into yakhe uyive ngomuntu okanye uyibone kwi-status uqomba. I thought we are besties. Like, why am I hearing this from Bulelani, I'm supposed to hear this from you. And that will make me feel very bad about myself. Jonga siyenza into ezona ezenza ndizifilishe kakubi ngawe man. Sundiprotect yabona ke le peace. And give me attention. When I don't get attention, I feel neglected and rejected. So that triggers me a lot. And don't undermine me and my position. I think that's the things that don't come for me. Yeah.
Vovo, your triggers. Ungathandi.
Itrigger zami zininzi ne.
Okay.
I've realized that I do not hate men as I thought I did. Ne? But indizenhloko indoda that objectifies women. Uyandiphambanisa. Undiphambanisa to the last nerve. Indizenhloko indoda that boxes women to being a wife, to certain things and duties, domesticated duties. Very domesticated, by the way. I love cooking, I love hosting, I love. But that's not who I am. I'm pelangapa. There's more to me. Yeah, but I get triggered a lot by abantu that are rapist apologists. For me, asingeke siphinde sikwazi ukuhlalelana kamnandi. Andithi su understand ne, andithi suba close ne, but sukuyithethelela into umuntu ayenzileyo. I'm one person that is very kind, ne. Latie anga rape umntana ngomso. Unfumane nhleka noLatie the next day. Because as a rape victim, I've learned to want to understand what happens. I understand it, guys. I fully understand. But because I work about Ngalendo and I've been there, so I'm trying to find ways. And also, we are a community and a society with these people. Uzobanjwa phume ngomso, and then what else? We are casting them out of the community, and then what? Yeah, but and yes, we are helping the victim. What about Yena? What about the family? Yakhe, and asikathethi a victim. What about the people around them? What about the people azosebenza nabo ngomso? What about the people azodilishana nabo ngomso? What about intombazana azawudilishana azawudibana nayo ngomso izihambe lapha? Uyayibona? Like it triggers they differ according to the situation at that time. Uyayibona? They differ according to the situation at that time. For me, umzekelo, la tata West Tembuloa, for me that guy is a rapist. Yeah. That guy is a rapist. But he has created a system and structure to do it legally and loudly so. And acceptable. Ne? Because if siyajonga siboyumva, he groomed umntana ogqiba kwakhe wamtshata. Bayeka abatshate bekwi-legal age be-right and stuff, abadeyithe bezintanga zakhe ne. Khona intanga yam pha uyi-husband number 2 pha kulaa mtshato ne. Wamguruma laa mntana. And she will not see anything wrong. But thina singaphandle seeing it at a broader view, we now see it. Qala ndandingayiboni until I got to understand the dynamics of the beginning yayo yonke le. Yebo? Even now, he's above 50. number 5. That number 5 is 24. Umncinci firstborn yakhe, rapist. That guy is a trigger. Because it becomes so acceptable in our community that if you don't fundise asuke apha, achate apha, asuke apha, he's just trying to make it legal. He's just trying to do it. A man tries uyenza legal. Yebo. This thing go to $1 they are above 18 bazalwane ngeke bafela.
Okay, I will give the opportunity to the audience. Just a few minutes. Already, guys, in this body gets to them.
Oh, sorry.
So I'll just hand over the mic to the audience who has a question or a comment.
I have questions. I'll try to be as brief as I can. Yeah, well.
No, notes.
No, the thing is, I have a question for each and every one of you.
Okay.
Yeah, well. I will start with you, Putine. You did mention Okobana, you ended up separating, I will say, part of your identity to a manhood. Yeah, understand? So now you as a person evolving from this stage of your life, which you know that on a normal basis you would be acknowledging it as becoming a man and everything. So now in the same space that you are supposed to be like maybe protected from and everything around that, you were made to feel unsafe. So how was it for you collecting yourself together, trying to be the person that you've become today? How was it for you? And also with those people trying to avoid whatever thoughts they had about you. So how is it for you? Like becoming a man, but also trying not to be that type of man, especially in a stage where you were coming into manhood. And remember, this question, I will also try for you to mention your identity and manhood. Like, try to separate them for me, please. Like, how is it for you? Ubana ubengumuntu uzange ke ubangulo bhoti undilisekileyo. At the same time, ungabajongi abayana ngalandlela. How is it for you, bana ungayithathi lento ivileyo and divert it to like other people? How did you do that? Because I can see, you could see my improvements and everything. So how is it for you?
It's a no question in response.
Yeah, because very difficult though. But you know, most I believe that I'm originating from God.
Yeah.
I originate from God, and when you look at the scripture, the Bible, God created man, and then He did not create male and female, but when God was creating man, He made them male and female. So, in as much as bakuke order, yoba a women should submit, but when God was creating, and funuti uqale ngendoda, but He made them male and female. It could be that because God was creating man, He was not creating a male and a female, but He made them male and female. So for me, quick creation is created actually one, but uThixo wasenza, then was individualizer formation for the order purposes. So getting to a point where Nandi is separated. Ingxaki isiXhosa sine stigma. When you're coming back from Ntabeni, there are things. I have a problem. And yabanza in majorisha kwepi percentage ba. Most yamadoda who are coming from there. Asiwaboni ilento kuthiwa iyayela phana. ejika eba yiyo instead enza izinto contrary to yayibona lento bekuthiwa ayayiyela ba iphara umntana ebeliphare inkwenkwe yayibona then kuthiwa makahamba ayokoluswa yayibona but still buya yayibona ne phinde futhi uziqaphele uba nabazali aba ufuna ngokungabi ngumntana phiko kwenu yayibona so ezo zinto ezo bezinodevelopa kum ngenxa yalamsindo because bendinayo ichance yoba ndiveze ubudoda bokubuya pha knowing what I went through and yonke into ibisenzeka pha laa nto ibinondenza ndiqonde okay I'm a man, let me fight for myself yayibona ndenze izinto ndibahlukumeze kwa abo bandihlukumezayo yayibona so yandenza loo nto to avoid uba ndibe ndi-involved kwi-fights and stuff yayibona mna ndithi andiyindoda yomXhosa but ndiyindoda yabo ndizi-identify as a human being than being a man yayibona because ngoku ndi-subjected to isiXhosa and isiXhosa is difficult for mna yayibona so ndaziqhawula phi kwisiXhosa ukwenzela uba ndingaziba involved kwezi zinto yayibona because it's difficult for mna zizisayiphini yes I think.
Thank you so much. I think uphendule kamnandi and uphendule kahle kasekuqaleni ngoqale uthi bana wena uthatha ntoni which is uGod from creation. Thank you. Moving forward to I'm not good with names. Uqolo. This is for yes, thank you. What stories sakho ukhumbula kwami you mentioned okay this is your family who has caused so much trauma to you. So now remember you are a person, you have a relationship with all of these individuals around you. Most of them, they have a relationship with your mom, right? So I need to maybe understand or to just try to see how was it for you as a victim, knowing that your mom is a victim? Because I can see that you were aware, or maybe you've grown to be aware that your mom was a victim. But now, remember, this mom who's got this child, and then in each and every incident, I have to lose a part of family that I value so much as umama wako. You understand? So I could drift cause something between when and mama. Okanye mhlambi when I feel kanjani knowing that you are becoming aware ukuthi this is my pastor, my friend. Okay, final friend, you're not gonna get too much with family, but your uncles and what's a space when I begin to feel like Anjalando looking at your mom, okay. I will call them like that because I'm quite sure Nangutatom has done this to me, my mom has to lose. How did it make you feel when as a person and also your relationship with your mom?
When it comes to thinking at that time, I did not think. I think I didn't care. I didn't think of those things. Those were not things that were in my mind. Yeah. Until later in stage when the last incident that I said at home, this is actually what happened, ne? And then she retaliated. Yeah, but yes, I had grown by that time to understand Dobana she has become a casualty in a war, yeah, but because she had to comfort her and be there for me, and she became a victim because I'm a victim. Yeah, but she became a victim of circumstances. Yeah, but now when I realized that later, a relationship was bad. I don't want to lie. But right now, I can say it boldly in Doba. Yes, we have differences, we humans. Yeah. But when it comes to that, as much as it's something that we never really speak about now, la incident, ne? But I've addressed it in na kakuhle. She went through all these things alone. Ne? it's this child, she keeps on losing people. Yeah, but trauma on her own. I remember in one of the instances, Sasisuka, at this meeting, when it was the pastor, we got home, she broke down in Walala pants. Was young, was around 10. And I was like, don't cry. If you cry and be like this, how am I gonna be? And was okelela. Waba right. Ne? And yes, she was a prayer warrior, a sincere and stuff. You would hear her pray and whatnot. But somewhere in between, I got to understand this person has been suffering depression yet, but she had an escape of prayer, of being this prayerful person and this child person. But a person can only take so much, and they are bound to blow up at some point. So when she blowed up, I did not understand obviously that he a guy, because dude, Timmy victim, Timmy victim, brother wako fine, but Timmy victim. I'm just letting you know. And then, because even right now, if something would happen or anything that happens at home, I would call my uncle, but hey, that this is what's happening. Don't have a relationship with him anymore. He never comes because immediately after then he stopped coming. Ne? And I don't think my mom has ever asked him about it. I remember when my uncle, my mom, set us down, and all I was like, and that was like no bagafa. Like I really don't. Okay. Like, oh, so teta konjalo. I'm like, Sana, I really ne. But for her, it was pain because brother like, and they're just met while they're in their 50s. So it's a difficult place to go through. Because also at the same time, this is the only thing that connects to her mother. This is the only thing that with which is umalume lo that did, like, there's a lot, so it's cool. And I think the family also got to understand. I remember when I launched, my aunts were there. Even lo ulekelwa ngumalume lona that did this, and was one of the people was like, say, cut her off and stuff. But I will tell you one thing, Nobandenzandon, even when I did the event, she called me Mtana man kwazi ukuza zawuthumela umntana, and her daughter loves me so much. I think also because I see we're not too far apart, and also Uzele, and now she understands, and she got to go through yonke lanto to really get to know about this is actually an issue that could have happened but he passed away, and luckily he agreed and I did this and whatnot. I did not understand what was happening, but he got sick and like quickly within a week or so. But with Umama, the relationship, I don't want to lie, it created a lot of issues for us. Even if Angati ubiza umalume mhlawumbe kanye to come or whatnot, I'm not really interested. Okay, they but I can't be tamed. Because also right about now, I don't wanna lie, I cannot dance and go. I cannot lens a clash. Like I cannot lens a clash and go. And also right about now, I'm no longer his victim, he's the victim of his own actions. He can't even come to his sister's house because so Jay, I'm good now on my side.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, to the very last question and the last person. You mentioned Kustori Sako Obana, you've been separated with your mom, of which that was your person, that's your best friend, everything. Yeah, well. And then now life has to like change completely, if I may say so, because uzo hlala no gogo and umama akekho usezlalini. Of course, you're growing up, kunes changes as you've mentioned. So, and you also mentioned a little bit of your sexuality, like gay boy and everything. So the transition between moving from a loving person, I'm not saying your grandma was not loving, they always are. But from moving to this person that you are so sure about, and then to the other person, obviously when you move to a different space, you will need to learn the environment and everything, to know the person, yabo, before you can open up. And also, yes, you've been this bubbly person, which is why you're able to do each and everything that you did and happened to you. So, how did you take ukuluza kwakho umama wakho as your best friend? Let me not say ukuluza, to be separated from your mom. Yeah, well, and then for you, what made you to be like, okay, this has happened. In whatever that is happening right now, as well with Chulbana, there was no money, Mankulu Sasa, and everything. We know how that becomes. So how did you take that when as a person and be like, you know what, I'm going to go forward, be it my mom is here or not? Like, how is it for you?
Okay. Sorry. I'm very resilient. Very resilient. I think I somehow knew that, like it or not, I have to get out of this feeling that I wrote on my kula. But the nice thing about it, I grew up under her watch. Yeah? Resilience has been my thing. Yeah, even in grade 7, my farewell was paid for was sponsored. But you wouldn't say. I was Mr. Drama there. Because I always sought for greater heights. My matric farewell was sponsored. You wouldn't say. I didn't have a cent for my graduation. I went to get a Range Rover. And it was a whole drama. So if you're looking on the other side, you wouldn't know what is happening behind closed doors. And I'm very resilient and I'm very optimistic. Like, we are not okay, but you guys, we need to go up. I will fix whatever I have with my mom later, but let's improve in life. We need croissant and get away with isoke. So we can get the bread now whilst we can enhance our lives. We can make the relationship in due time. Because I don't want to dwell so much in the problem to the point whereby it becomes my identity. Decons.
Definitely.
So it is a problem, it is a solution, but the time of it reaching it to be solved is not going to come overnight. And unfortunately, I have dreams, I have a vision of my life and my family. So if it means that I'm the one who's going to take the scroll and suffer, I will, as long as we are going up.
Then be it.
Amen.
Just briefly, guys, we're about to wrap up. Just briefly, Jay, and please ask my guests. So please, this is so many.
Not literally. Oh, I thought you said literally. No, not okay, let's have a question.
I don't have a question. I just feel like I want to tell you something because I like you. I love you. I really do. I wanted to say that I also grew up with not having my parent around, but having my grandmother around was enough for me. it was the overlap. Yeah, she was colored. Yeah, she would literally chase me, and yeah, she would tell me 6 o'clock is your time. You need to be inside the house by that time. But I wanted to say that a mother's love is very crucial in a child's life. It's that part that makes a child who that child is. And even though you didn't grow up with the presence of your parent, you're still gonna become a parent. Don't be that neglectful part that, I'm not saying that your mother was neglectful, I'm just saying that she wasn't present in the time of need that you needed. And I just wanted to say that don't let that be the barrier of burden for you. Let it rather rise you, let it rather get you to heights that are higher and bigger. Let it bring you to stages and standards that you yourself will look back and be like, because of her, I am here. Don't let it be something that's going to be your weakness, rather make it your strength.
No.
So I just want to say, look forward, keep growing, shine, be a phoenix,
Oh, man.
enjoy your life.
Now I kind of have a question. Yeah, I think a question and they have the water, but it's somewhere there. As do we heal or do we move on? Singaband. Just have that question.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Do we heal or move on? Okay, that the that's both alone both the pin and the question and then the pin that's pendul.
Okay.
And it's been longer that much one that thing that's pendul. I was like, okay, we don't heal, we just move on. And then moving on way to just change the situations to a kind of positive. Like like change younger, like it is like it is to something ezawukwazi uba mayincede abanye abantu kuwe bra like bra like isibini sakho hayi bra ndasincane hayi like hayi bra like irare iwe yoba sibe ne mail ekwazi yoba ivume like yeah ndiyenzile lewe but uhamba like le ndlela like bra because apha phandle like hayi singabatya like peer pressure ininzi bra but yabo leyo yakho bra ngoku I think zaphumena leyo ba ungumntu esho yabo yizakho yabo xa uyicingile sikuyenze yenze ngendlela uba umake sure uba iyaphumelela.
Before you say something, kula initial question yake. My theme that I always have, and it's a mission statement: we heal while the wounds still bleed. Right? I'm even writing a book, and it's not allowing me to move away from that title. We heal while the wounds still bleed. We like umzekelo, possibly according to doctors' reports, I might not have kids, but I'm gonna have kids because God said that.
Yes.
But we heal. Yeah, but triggers. There's a trigger when it comes to child. Because I need to get married and I need to have kids. Now Mtana go through that emotional turmoil and stuff. And there's this so we still need to work on those. I'm good, but we go on.
So
yeah.
Before we move on, that add something on what she said. I think in that, for me, I think it's very important to heal instead of moving on. You see, because when you move on, you will meet people in this journey, and you will
Lead with people that
Yeah.
didn't catch you.
So instead of finding, because when you move on, they're trying to find a way to numb the wound. And then you will meet people, and the wound will bleed. And then you will open that were your destiny helpers, you see. So instead of trying to move, try to find a way of healing.
Can I just add a bit?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Can
I'm sorry. I just want to add something. Now, Mamela, let me teach you something. Ne? There is no healing without moving on.
Yes.
Moving on is a stage in the healing process.
Yeah, cool.
So you have this wound. This scar will bleed. You'll put a bandage on. Tomorrow you'll have to open it off like a detour. That will make it more painful to you, but it is correcting the wound. So you're addressing the spade and calling it a spade. Yeah, maturation of your plot. And okay, now you're going to science. Now you are figure mom, so we are ihlamba, and the ihlamba there is pus coming out that you did not introduce. There is a redness, there is greenness coming out of that wound that you did not introduce. That is bacteria that caused some infection in that particular place. You have to attend to that in order for it to have iskoko. Iskoko does not mean the wound has healed. It means that the blood that was on top superficially has clotted and dried out. You don't need a bandage, but you haven't healed yet. You still have it. After a few days, uzoyibona that skoko lizisukela, and you are going back to phase 1 because it has to heal, and it's on its own stipulated time, and we can't do anything to fasten that. So iskoko xa sikhona usitsala, you are going back to 1. So you're avoiding the problem. You are going back to phase 1. Ne? So you are reintroducing that problem. You are making yourself immune to bleeding scars. And you think you are moving on, but you are full of patches and bandages. And when you wait until Esas Coco moves out, that's when you are healed completely. And you leave.
Okay, before we hand over to, I think that's the last comment or question that we're taking. Mrs. Vovo has to urgently leave. So, Ella Uyenze, as short as possible. I don't want to let her leave. It can follow Ubuza. Okay, you can go ahead.
Oye wajonga isituation obukhula kuyo ndiyayithanda because kukhona a friend of mine yena warechwa sistepfather sakhe apho ke ngwathe wathetha nomama wakhe wamxelela yena uyithethile khangathuli umama wakhe wathi nothi ubani yabo loo nto yamenza into yoba wathi ozibona mhlawumbi uyangena ngokwe high school wabona okay na ubhuti ndiyamthanda so ithi loo nto mandihlalisane because umama akananto andinqwenela kuyo kwaye akandifuni because wayezawuchuza umntu angamaziyo more than umntana wakhe yabo so laa nto imenze ifamily yakhe akayithandi kunangoku akayifuni ngenxa kabani ngenxa kamama wakhe angazange asimamele so umama wakhe kuyo yonke laa nto uhambe wambona kuye lo tata bangomntu right yabo so ndiyayithanda indlela othi badilishana nezinto ngayo enye into engancediyo into yoba uzawuhamba uyobambisa umntu phaa like case ngonyaka iyastopha next day iphinde iqala phantsi so ngela xesha lokuba ugqibile nge-healing process yakho
uphinde uqalisa phansi udila nalo depression iza ngendlela nje ekufeni ba wayiyeka leyo nto yabo esehla
Wow.
So
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your input, guys. Comments zenu, I think is and then ndimna sidenza ndibona ba besingadlalisi upper end. We do not take lightly ixesha lenu that enilithathileyo to come and share your experiences. I believe kukho umuntu ozojonga i-identity yakhe ngendlela different. Will be more conscious towards rape and not taking it as just penetration. And also there's someone ofundileyo that what rape could do, and to attest. I think of your chomyako, you'll be like, there's umdu that we were speaking to today who went through A, B, C, and D. Go watch the podcast so that you uzivele ngokwakho. So thank you so much to my guests. Oh, hi, sana niyathetha.
Beautiful guests, not just
Nje, I'd just like last remarks. Last remarks from our guests, and then we call it a day.
1 minute.
1. Whoever wants to start.
Be intentional about healing. You are a victim of circumstances. You are not the circumstances. What happened to you or what's happening to you is not you. It does not define you. You are just a victim of circumstances. Heal, be intentional about it. Choose you all the time.
Oh, okay. Ndithetha ke ngoku into endingayithandiyo. Into endibeka to the situation. I thought, when I thought I healed. The thing is, it's a thought. You are not convinced, you're not sure, but it's a thought. So sucinga uba xa uyicinga
We healed.
So ngokola nje abendingazabe mandithethe ngantoni. I thought ngizothetha nge-HIV, but I'm thinking HIV phantsi kweenyawo zam. But the time that engage with sex is the mother of Noluvo, because I got HIV and rejected. Doesn't figure out. So now I have to deal with Lando, and I'm in a chain of finding a father figure. But yes, I didn't trust issues. So that this over daughter, right? I believe that for me to be a man, and I'm something beyond cause. And but I'll find someone also by a father figure, and then as on yes, it's bad in situ, but you what be careful, but yes. So.
Last but not least.
Okay, don't think you're healed. Allow healing to take place.
Yeah.
And don't dictate how your healing will be and the outcomes of the healing. It is a process that is involuntary. It's beyond your control. It controls itself. And the more we tamper, the more we are making it worse. Also, I've learned to know and discover that there are things that we go through so that we can be a blessing to other people while going through that. Amen. There are things that we go through so that we can be able to bless abo bazoyithi bambe kulamo besikhesa yami uzokwazi ukuthi tisuka apha hayi kuyadluleka apha manje ukhasa iletho hayi kuyadluleka apha. They have someone who is going to be a blessing for them. Amen. And that's where ministry is not just in the pulpit, even counseling other people and sharing your story and be a shoulder to cry on.
Yes.
And be a blessing to others can also be part of your ministry. Amen.
Thank you so much to guests once again, and thank you to my awesome audience, my team, and everyone who's watching. From us, it's goodbye, and I'll hand it over to MC1, and now I'm going to be taking out my guests. Thank you. Move my guests out. Over to Bye, baby.
Okay, I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for joining us at our page, and thank you so much for coming, everyone. I hope that imibuzo yenu ipendulekile, and then yeah, from us and the team, we call it a day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.